Alright guys, my name's Appleseed and I like to play a lot of Squad, but I kind of want to go through and do a bit of a tutorial on how to play the different roles of Squad. Because I have noticed some newer players come in and it's a lot to swallow your first time playing the game. So I kind of want to come up with a little bit of something for each of the classes here. Just a quick little tutorial on how to play it more effectively so you don't get in there and find yourself drowning in all the information you're trying to take in. So this first video, we're going to start out with the Rifleman class. Just your average basic rifleman. It's not a super important role, but still a very vital role to the squad. And we're going to talk about the best way to play it and the basic mechanics of the game to help you learn how to play the game here with this first tutorial. From here, we'll just go to the other roles like medic, automatic rifleman, and etc. Alright, so we've got a rifleman selected, and here on the main screen we have our map. Each of these yellow points are places that we can spawn at, so we'll just double select one, and we spawn right in. From here, we're going to come out to the range. And basic movement is just like any FPS game. Shift to run, space to jump, WASD to move, as well as look around. And the best thing about Squad is it's toggle aim. And I know a lot of people they like the hold and release. But with the toggle on Squad, it makes it so much better because you're putting in so many mouse movements and key bindings and everything like that. That just helps to have one less thing to hold down. And just as a basic rifleman, your entire job is to shoot bad guys. So you got our targets over there, and we're just gonna shoot them. Lots of fun. Then we hit one, and we can change our fire mode to full auto. It is recommended to fire in bursts just because guns do have quite a bit of recoil in the game. It's supposed to be fairly realistic. Here, I won't compensate at all on this one. And I can see this guy. It's fantastic. So remember to adjust fire, compensate for your recoil, because there is quite a bit in this game. From here, the basic rifleman is also given a bayonet, one hit kill when you knife someone. Beautiful fragmentation grenade, and if we do a right hand, we can underhand it. Don't recommend doing that with frags, but here we go. Beautiful explosion. And overhand with a left click. So there we go. Definitely recommend if you're going short and you want to go just over a wall or in a window that you're up next to, do an underhand to get it in there. Definitely helps. I've done that a couple times where guys have been on the other side of a wall. And do an overhand if you're a little bit further away. You want to get behind a tree, a rock, something like that. Past the grenade, we have smoke grenades. Typical fantastic objects. Bounced off the sandbag because why not? And it does take just a second for them to actually get a nice little plume, but they do help actually block the vision of the enemies. So generally smoke grenades kind of suck in games where they do way too much or way too little. This seems to be a nice little balance because you can see it's going downwind, and we can't really see through that. So if we're pushing an objective and our enemies are downrange over there, I can be over here and I can't see them, they won't see me. But the grenade does eventually expire, and we still get a nice plume though. It's very nice. From here, field dressings, very important. So what ended up happening is when you get shot, kind of two things will happen. One, you won't be bleeding, which would be very lucky. You'll just get hit, you'll lose some health, and that's it. But if you are bleeding, you'll have something pop up in the dead center of your screen at the bottom that says press 5 for field dressing. You'll press 5, pull out your little field dressing, and you'll hold right trigger to fix yourself. You'll tear off the bandage and wrap it around your arm, and you'll eventually stop bleeding. If you don't do this, you'll actually bleed out and die. And if you have a friend that's down, you want to pick him up real quick. A medic's not nearby, you can go up and hold left trigger, and you will actually pick up your friend. So you can, same thing, you'll take off the bandage, pull it out, press it against them. It takes a little bit longer. It's about 30 to 45 seconds. And then they stand up and they're good to go. They have minimal health, but at least they're back in the fight. It's a very important piece of kit. Next we have our field shovel. So when we get to squad leaders, we'll talk more about the importance of this, but your squad leader will go through and place down emplacements like these sandbags here. And you have to come through with your field shovel and build them up. So you just walk up, you hold left trigger like this, and you can build it up. And then when you get to like enemy positions, if you want to turn them down, you hold right trigger and you can bring them down. This is very good for habs and radios because those are things that you want to destroy. Next on the list, an ammo bag. Fantastic piece of kit for the Rifleman. Throw it down. Everyone can come up, hold F to resupply, click your rearm, and then I usually just hit rearm all. If you want to be specific, you can just hit each item individually, and then you still have to hit that center rearm. Very nice thing to have. It's great for you because it lets you resupply your friends. From here, we've got our binoculars. Another piece of important kit. Right trigger, you can zoom in, and you actually have quite a bit of zoom. You can see out there pretty far, and pick up on all your enemies. Very nice because you don't have to deal with scope glint or anything like that. You can be very minimal behind a position and get a very good accurate gauge. You can see there towards the bottom left, we actually have a ranging gauge, and that's going to be the average height of a person at 200, 400, 6, 8, and 10, and 1,000 meters. So you can see someone out there and be like, we'll take that guy at 500. And what do you know? He's 500. He's at the 500 mark right between 6 and 4. So we know that's a 500-meter shot. If we're spotting for someone, we can say, hey, they're 500 meters out from our position. So that's the cover of the basic kit. And then, of course, controls are going to be our crouch. Z is prone. And from here, let's actually talk about room clearing and such. So we're going to come over here to the shoot house. And I'll go through a little bit. We'll talk about how to move when you're inside a situation like this. Because a lot of the game, you're either out in the open here, where your best bet is just to find any cover you can, or you're fighting inside buildings. So from here, I generally keep my guns on semi-auto. I don't need a reason to be full auto very much. It's very rare, and generally I'm just dumping mags to keep people's heads down. But we come in, we're going to start with this room, and lean, and clear it. Then clear out on this next one. It's best to always be in some sort of position where you're ready. You can hip fire. Not super accurately, but you can still get shots down range. But at least be ready to fight when you're going through buildings like this. Always come up and lean to make sure you're clear here. And you'll come back the other way and lean and make sure you're clear that way. Coming upstairs, I like to come up so just my head's poking over and look around. Oh, we got a guy here, got a guy there. Come along, and we've exposed ourselves to more targets. You always want to try and keep it as minimal as possible. You want single target exposure the entire time. Like this, where I came up and I had 1, 2, 3, and looks like 2 over there looking at me. What I should have done is come up and been a little more this way. Then I have the 1 and 2, because I can't really line it up, so I just have the 1. So I have to pick which one is more of a threat. I can see more of him, which means I'm fairly exposed to him, while him I can only see his head. So I'm less exposed. So my first priority would be this guy, and then coming up to this guy. As we come up, we're still clearing, checking our areas. We just want to keep our gun at the uncleared section as we move around. We're going to go up the ladder a little bit, take a peek. There's a guy here. Drop down. And you do take fall damage, so that's a good thing to be aware of too. So a lot of times when you're about that high off the ground, what you actually want to do is have a friend come up and stand underneath you, and then you just drop down on top of their head and fall down from there, because then you won't take damage. But we're just going to keep making our way around, do some leans, be very fancy, and keep moving. That's another big key point, is you don't want to stop moving when you're clearing a building unless you're taking a shot. For that guy's already down. Bullets do penetrate walls in here, so we can go through, put a couple rounds in. You can see they came through on the other board. Always want to make sure you have a full mag. You can see in the bottom right, I now have a gray mag underneath my M4A1 plus vertical grip. That is an empty mag. They go from white to yellow, orange, red, then to gray, which means they're completely empty. Unfortunately, you don't really get a number associated with your mags, so You kind of have to guess where you're at based on the color you have. And here's the side of the shoot house. So really, just went through, we covered this, and all the basic movements of the game. From here, we can hit M and pull up our map. Scrolling forward, we'll zoom in on the map. Scrolling out, zooms out. I always like to keep it about here. This way I can see the immediate area around my position. So I look around and see we have vehicles up over here. We have the shoot house we were just in. Other vehicles over here. All that. Press M again to put it away. Now we're doing pretty good. Really, this is the main functions of the game you need to know. Communications with your squad. I have changed my keybinds. I can't remember what the stock ones are, but I highly recommend changing it. If you have a mouse that has buttons on the side, that's where I keep mine. So I have my local chat here as one button, and then my squad chat as the other. It won't pop up because I'm not in a squad. And when we get more into it, when you're a squad leader and stuff, you press G to talk to command, and they are squad leads. But really, these are the big things you need to know. Dead center on the bottom, I know I didn't touch on this. That's your sprint gauge and your holding breath. But realistically, from here, the best thing to do to practice your first time ever playing squad, hop in the training area here, and just kind of move around, get used to the feeling of the game, because it does feel different. It's a little draggy as you look around, and so you just need to get used to it. I'm actually gonna jump off this so we can see the damage, or not. Okay, I won't get damaged. And these emplacements, these are actually pretty important too. I better cover this. This is a squad leader radio, which allows you to build a hab. This is a hab, and it's a team-wide spawning location. So, very important thing to keep up, very important thing to destroy when you find one. Over here, these are squad leader rallies. Place them down, and just the squad members can respawn there. There's an ammo box. You can get your ammo here. Another type of hab. And that's really it, because there are different styles. So that one's more Russian. This one's more American. When you get to the insurgent groups, it's kind of made of sheet metal. It looks kind of trashy, but that's how all those are made. We'll come over here real quick and we'll take a quick look at the vehicles. Just kind of give an example of what they are and how terrifying they can be. So, here we are with the vehicles. Absolutely terrifying. Main battle tank, got Bradley here. Same with the other side. What's going to happen is these are tracked vehicles. All vehicles are pretty dangerous in the game. If you get run over, it's okay. Your character will actually get up. You won't take any damage. But these will absolutely destroy you no matter what. And here you have a bit of a chance because you can start shooting at wheels. And once you take out the wheels, it becomes a lot slower and difficult to move. So if you're facing one of these guys, you don't have any AT with you, shoot at the wheels. Best bet you can ever have with any vehicle. Go down here, even more. Shoot the wheels. Just keep unloading, because once you destroy all four wheels, it's super slow, and that'll allow your AT to actually get in position and take care of it. But also, it just means you have more time, and the driver himself may actually get scared and get out. Because unfortunately, all the windows are bulletproof, so you can't really hit the guy when he's driving, even though you can see him just fine. Save the Russian side over here. Even more just different styles with different top mounts. We have a tow and a 50 cal. These are lodges. They will carry logistical supplies and the entire squad. So you can go through, you can load it up with ammunition and building supplies to help build habs. And what will happen is your entire squad can get in here, so we'll just hop in real quick. Just looking at the vehicle and holding F. I'm now in the driver position. But as we go through and hit like F2, we'll change positions to the center. F3 will be the one just to the right of me, so we'll go to F4. Maybe. And now we're in the back. And this continues through the entire back of the vehicle. So you're going to have your entire squad in here and a little bit. It takes about a squad and a half. Squad's about 9 people. Everyone can just sit back here. Unfortunately, you can't shoot from the back of a vehicle, and you are completely exposed to gunfire. But this is a great way to move you and your squad around in a fast way. Keep everyone together. This one over here, same thing, just has the cool stuff in the back. As we come down, that's basically it. We have our Russian Logi, as well as their main trucks, all the way through. Then once we get to helicopters, unfortunately there aren't any immediately right here. I believe they're all up there. I don't know exactly where they all are. But helicopters, they're a lot of fun too, because you can actually do some serious damage with small arms fire. You can hit the people inside, cause a lot of damage. You can even shoot out the pilot, which I've seen guys could do a couple times. And sometimes they've gotten lucky, and the helicopters actually come down and landed in front of them to the point where they could steal the helicopter. Fortunately, you can't drive enemy vehicles, but it was a helicopter that they could control and keep in their area. Although this is more for AT stuff, just talking about where to aim when you shoot at objects. So, rifles can't really do a whole lot besides shooting out tires. This is a resupply point for vehicles, so you can come through. We'll cover this more as a vehicle crewman, but you can pull up here and get supplies for your vehicle. Realistically, this is all you really need to start the game. Just start out slow, hop here in the training, move around, go through the shoot house a couple times, get a feel for the game, and just have fun. Enjoy yourself. Start out with a Rifleman. If you feel overconfident, bump up to something else. Realistically, though, as you're brand new to the game, don't start out with a squally position. It takes so much involvement, and it's overwhelming. Even for me right now, where I've played the game for quite a while, I'm fairly decent at it. I know my roles. Being a squad leader and commander is extremely stressful, and it's a lot more to take a bite of. And so I would definitely focus on the basic roles, and we'll go through. We'll do more videos. We'll cover each and every role and what they do and the best way to play them. And from there, hopefully, you guys will learn to play the game a lot better. But thanks for tuning in. I'm definitely coming next time for the next role. I believe we're going to touch on medic next. So we'll start at medic and we'll just work our way through. And so if you're not interested in medic, keep your eyes out for a role that you are interested in, and we'll just go through. We'll hit all of them, and you'll learn the game. So right now we have our very basic how to play, and we're just gonna build from here. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe, leave me a like, whatever you want to do. I'll see you next time.